North Korea, your future can be decided before you learn to speak. Your family history may shape where you live, what you study, and how closely the state watches you. Above it all stands Kim Jong-un, the third leader of a dynasty that has ruled for more than 70 years. But imagine this is not a headline. Imagine this is your birth. Could intelligence, money, or courage rewrite the life chosen for you? Or is escape the only way out? To answer that, we will follow one imagined life. From childhood to work, forbidden information, and the moment survival becomes a choice between obedience and flight. This is not the story of one defector or one dictator. It is a journey through the choices an ordinary person might face, and the extraordinary price of making them. Your first advantage or disadvantage is geography. If you are born into a trusted family in Pyongyang, the capital can look almost modern. Broad avenues, new towers, universities, and better access to food and electricity. But living there is itself a privilege. Most North Koreans are born far from its showcase streets, in industrial towns, farming villages, or mountainous provinces near China. Then comes family background. United Nations investigators have documented a system of state-assigned social classification commonly called songbun. Its rules are opaque, and modern market wealth can sometimes bend them. But political history can still influence education, employment, residence, and scrutiny. Your grandfather's choices may matter more than your test scores. A relative who fled south, practiced Christianity, or was associated with the old landowning class can become a stain carried by later generations. You inherit not only a name, but a file. At school, you learn mathematics and Korean history. You also learn loyalty. Portraits look down from classroom walls. Collective rituals teach that the survival of the nation and the ruling family are inseparable. Independent news does not offer a competing version of the world. The political system has passed through 3 generations of one family. Kim Il-sung founded the state in 1948 and built the institutions and personality cult around it. When he died in 1994, power passed to his son, Kim Jong-il, as the country entered its most devastating food crisis. Kim Jong-un inherited leadership in 2011. Under him, Pyongyang gained new towers and carefully displayed consumer spaces while nuclear and missile programs accelerated. But the United Nations says surveillance, information controls, and repression also intensified. The architecture changed. The boundaries around an ordinary life did not disappear. If you are talented, a narrow ladder exists. Exceptional students may reach elite schools, science programs, or prestigious universities. Athletics, music, and technical ability can open doors, but the ladder stands inside a locked room. Advancement usually requires performance, political reliability, and the right relationships. After school, you may not simply browse job listings and move to another city. Work, residence, and travel are controlled. The state can assign a workplace. Military service and labor mobilizations can consume years. A permit may be needed to travel beyond your district. On paper, the state promises employment and essential goods. In practice, salaries are often too small to live on, and public distribution has repeatedly failed to meet basic needs. The World Food Program says food insecurity and undernutrition continue to affect millions. For your parents' generation, the Great Rupture came in the 1990s. State distribution collapsed during a famine known inside the country as the Arduous March. Families survived by trading, foraging, and improvising. Out of catastrophe grew something the planned economy had never intended: markets. The Jangmadang became more than a place to buy rice. It became an alternative operating system. Women traded food, clothing, and imported goods while many men remained tied to state workplaces. Prices carried information more honestly than propaganda. Cash created a small zone of choice. If you are resourceful, the market may be your first chance to change your life. You can repair bicycles, move goods, sell snacks, arrange transport, or trade across informal networks. With money, you may obtain better food, medicine, and favors. Connections can sometimes secure a travel document or soften an official decision. But none of this is protected. A policy shift can close a market. An inspector can confiscate goods. A bribe can solve today's problem while creating tomorrow's blackmail. Informal wealth gives leverage, not freedom. and information itself becomes a dangerous commodity. A foreign film on a memory card can reveal apartments, supermarkets, and ordinary conversations that contradict the world you were taught to imagine. But possession or distribution of unauthorized media can bring severe punishment. Curiosity is no longer innocent, it becomes a decision. By adulthood, you can see three possible strategies. The first is to rise inside the system, study harder, demonstrate loyalty. Enter a technical field, the military, the party, or a state enterprise. For a small number of people, this can deliver status, housing, and security. But success may require constant conformity, and one political mistake can threaten more than the individual who made it. The second is to build a life beside the system, trade quietly, cultivate officials, use money and networks to widen your choices without openly challenging authority. This is how many families endure. It can improve daily life, but it depends on rules that are never written and can change without warning. The third is escape. The southern border is a fortified military frontier. Historically, most escape routes have begun in the north, across rivers into China. That first crossing is only the beginning. In China, a North Korean escapee may have no legal protection, and women are especially vulnerable to trafficking and forced marriage. Capture can mean forced return and punishment. To reach South Korea, the journey may continue through thousands of kilometers in several countries. Every checkpoint becomes a calculation. Trust a broker, hide, move, wait. A phone call home may endanger relatives. Freedom has a route, but it also has a price, and no guaranteed arrival. South Korea's Ministry of Unification records 580 North Korean arrivals through March 2026. The annual number once reached thousands. After border controls tightened, it collapsed. Just 229 in 2020, 63 in 2021, and 43 in the first 3 months of 2026. These figures do not reveal how many tried and failed. They count only those who arrived. Suppose you make it. For the first time, the night sky over a city is bright without permission. A supermarket contains hundreds of choices. The internet contains the entire argument of humanity. You can travel without explaining why. But freedom can be disorienting. Your education may not transfer cleanly. Your accent can identify you. You may carry trauma, guilt, and fear for relatives left behind. A society that speaks the same language can still feel culturally foreign. South Korea provides screening, resettlement education, and financial support. Yet official figures show a complicated reality. In 2025, the employment rate among settled North Korean defectors was 61.3%, while 23.4% received livelihood benefits. Escape changes the rules of life. It does not erase the past. And there is a deeper paradox. To save yourself, you may have to disappear from the lives of everyone you love. Calling home can expose them. Returning may be impossible. The moment your future opens, your family history can split in two. So, could you beat the system? The honest answer is neither a clean yes nor a hopeless no. People inside North Korea are not passive characters. They bargain, study, trade, protect their children, exchange information, and make calculations of extraordinary sophistication. Markets have created spaces the state did not design. Technology has carried glimpses of the outside world across controlled borders. Thousands have rebuilt lives elsewhere. But individual courage does not cancel structural power. Your birthplace, family file, gender, health, and access to money shape the choices available to you. What looks like a simple decision from the outside may place parents, siblings, or children at risk. If you were born there, changing your fate might not look like becoming rich or famous. It might mean finding medicine for your mother, keeping a daughter out of exploitation, secretly watching a foreign film, crossing a river at night, or simply preserving an inner life the state cannot fully reach. The most closed border is not only the fence around a country, it is the border around what a person is allowed to imagine. And once that border is crossed, even in the mind, fate is no longer absolute.